Hello students, welcome to SKT online classes. Today we will be learning about business activities. Rather, what or how can we classify business activities? In my previous video, you must have gone through the role of profits in business and also the objectives of business. Now, today we will be learning business activity and its classification. So let me begin. Now, as you can see here, business activities can be classified as industry and commerce. So, industry and commerce are the major two heads. Now, we will do first with industry. Now, when we hear about this industry, the first thing that comes into our mind is natural resources or a machinery that is converting these natural resources into finished products, or some kind of organization where there is no production taking place but business is taking place. What is industry exactly? Now, industry means where conversion of raw materials or some kind of services are converted to final product. Now, how can you think of conversion of services into final product? Now, there are various examples. We will discuss it in the later part. But industries are anything that converts raw materials or services into final products, or rather, we can say, like a service from its origin to its final destination is done through an industry. Now, industries can be classified as primary industry, secondary industry, and tertiary industry. Now, when I talk about primary industry means any industry that caters to raw materials or natural resources. Now, industries which are associated with natural resources are called primary industries. Now, primary industries can be further classified as genetic industries and extractive industries. Now, genetic industries are what and extractive industries are what? So here, let me start with extractive industry first. Now, extractive industries are those industries in which extraction of natural resources are taking place from the surface of earth. Now, surface of earth includes water bodies as well. Say, for example, I would write extraction of natural resources from earth. Example, fishing, mining. Now, I know many of you understand about extractive industry from the very word extraction or extractive. We understand coal is extracted. So, coal industry is definitely an example of extractive industry, But fishing can also be considered as one of the biggest example of extractive industry, as a lot of water bodies are located in our country. Say, for example, from the river we are taking out fish. That is also coming under extractive industry. These are very easy concepts, students. We can easily understand from small example what kind of industries they are. Next, genetic industry. Now, genetic industries can be defined as reproduction or breeding of natural resources. Rather, you can say it's like multiplication. So, what can be the example? Now, let me give you an example of, say, plant husbandry. Now, what is plant husbandry? So, bracket I'm writing reproduction or breeding of natural resources. So, this is your meaning of genetic industry, and plant husbandry is an example. Now, what is plant husbandry? Now, plant husbandry means, suppose you plant in a plot of land some banana trees. Now, those banana trees will give first the leaves which is used. Then, the best example is the fruit that we are consuming is banana. Then, before the fruit, there comes a vegetable. And then, after the vegetable is given, we cut the stem, and that is also a vegetable which is eaten. Now, In Bengali, we call it Thor and Mocha. But in English, I am not really comfortable with the terms. So you can Google it and find it out yourself. But after we are chopping off the plant, because once you get everything out of the plant, you have to chop it off. Once you chop off, more number of plant comes out. So this is multiplication of natural resources. I can give you another example for explaining this is pisciculture. Now, pisciculture is another example of where you create artificial ponds and there you put some fish. Those fish reproduce more and more number of fishes. So those are examples of genetic industries. I hope with this the concept gets clear. So we move on to the next industry, that is the secondary industry. Now, secondary industries are actually those industries where conversion of raw materials takes place into finished products. So we will be discussing upon this thing. Now, secondary industry can be classified as analytical industry, synthetical industry, processing industry, and assembling industry. Now, what is analytical industry? Analytical industries are those industries where one main product is broken down to produce many products. Example of such industry, say crude oil. Now, examples of such industry is crude oil. Now, crude oil. Now, we know crude oil is imported. Imported from, as you can see, import word is written over here. So, imported. We will discuss on that later. But imported from where? Middle East countries. Now, after importing crude oil, the companies like Bharat Petroleum, Hindustan Petroleum, Indian Oil, so many, Reliance, Jio, they are converting them into finished products like petroleum, diesel, then LPG, CNG, so many other things. Even the fuel which is required by aeroplanes, even that is produced from crude oil. So such industries are called analytical industry. One product, crude oil, broken down into various substances to produce the final products. So I hope this is clear. Now I move on to synthetical industry. Now, synthetical industries are those industries where some raw materials are mixed together to form one product. Example of synthetical industry will be cement industry. Cement industry. Now, cement industry, lime, stone, gypsum, then stone chips, so many other components are mixed together. Now, once you mix and form it to cement, you can never go back to their original components. So, such industries where combination of various raw materials are mixed together to form one product is called synthetical industry. Next, we have processing industry. Now, what do you mean by this word processing? Now, processing means when, say, sugar cane. Now, you must have seen sugar cane. The sugar canes are peeled, the juices are extracted, the juices are soaked or dried up to convert into sheets. Sheets are cut into pieces. From those pieces, then polishing is done. Then you get crystal clear sugar. So sugar is processed from sugar cane through various process. Papers, we see these days Blinkit, Zomato, they are Swiggy, they are Instamart, they are giving you products in paper bag. Now those papers are not the one which we use for notebooks and other papers. These are made out of scrap things, but it undergoes various process. So those industries which converts a raw material by getting through many processes are called processing industries. Example, as I said, sugar industry or paper industry are considered as processing industries. So sugar, paper, these industries are your processing industry. Next, we have assembling industries. Now, assembling industry is quite similar to synthetical, but here it is different. Here the main parts, not products, not raw materials, one usable product is combined together to form one particular product. Say for example, mobile industry, mobile phones, or maybe car industry, laptop industries, these will be considered as your assembling industry. Why these will be considered? Because we assemble all the different parts and make one particular product. Now, for example, a particular part is damaged, we do not replace the entire product, but only that particular part. Or if the car is damaged, we find out which part is damaged and we replace it with that particular part. So such industries where finished products are combined together to form one particular product are called assembling industries. Example, car industry, or mobile phone. Okay, so that was secondary industry for you. Now, students, we will be discussing tertiary industry. Now, tertiary industry will hold for a period, because you can see that it is almost same as aids to trade. So, what exactly does it do? We will discuss when we discuss the last part, that is aids to trade, in this entire classification of business activities. So, industry for the timing is done. Now, we will be doing industry or the tertiary industry at the end, along with the last part, that is aids to trade. So now we will come on to the commerce part. Now, commerce part has two divisions. One is trade and one is aids to trade. Now, what exactly you mean by trade? Now, many people have this wrong idea. They think that trade means not only buying and selling but also manufacturing. No manufacturing in case of trade. Trading means, or trade means, not trading. Trade means simply buying of goods and selling them. Then you will think, why middleman is required? Of course, middleman is required. Middlemen only perform trade. Say, for example, today I am a big businessman. I have a huge plot of land, I produce the goods, and I have direct contacts with the retailers, and I have that source and capacity to sell it to the consumers directly. Then also I will be called a retailer. But it is difficult for any such businessman or a trader to find customers at the doorstep. So they have to go via some middleman. So trade can be further classified as, trade means simply buying and selling of goods. So trade can be classified as inland trade or home trade or domestic trade and foreign trade, that is international trade. So what do you mean by home trade and foreign trade? Now, trade which is conducted within the geographical territory of a country is called inland trade, whereas trade which is conducted outside or beyond the territory of a country is called foreign trade. So trade within your own country, that is India, is inland trade, and trade with some other country you do is called foreign trade. Now, inland trade can be classified as wholesale trade and retail trade. Now, what exactly wholesale trade means? Now, students, mark my words very carefully, you will understand in one go. Buying of goods in bulk directly from the manufacturer. Manufacturer is the person who is producing the goods. So, buying of goods in bulk directly from the producer or manufacturer and selling them in small quantities to the retailers is termed as wholesale trade. So I will buy in bulk and sell in small quantity. This is called wholesale trade, and the person engaged in such trade is known as a wholesaler. Now we will be discussing retail trade. Now again, you people listen properly. Now in wholesale trade, it was selling goods to retailer in small quantities. So retailers or retail trade means buying of goods in small quantities from the wholesaler and selling them to the consumer in smaller quantities, smaller. Say for example, a manufacturer produces 10,000 metric ton goods that is purchased by the wholesaler. Now, the wholesaler is selling 100 quintals or 10 quintals of raw materials to the retailers. Now, retailers out of 100 quintals are selling in 10 kg, 5 kg or even 1 kg to the consumers. So this is how this trade goes on. So I repeat once again for the retail trade, buying of goods in small quantities from the wholesalers and selling them to the consumers in smaller quantities. This is called retail trade, and the person engaged in such trade is called a retailer. So with this, inland trade gets over. Now we come to foreign trade. As I told you, the trade beyond the geographical territory of a country is called foreign trade. So when we are ordering some goods from outside the country for our country, just now I told you about crude oil. Now crude oil is imported from Middle East country. So what exactly import means? Import means buying of goods from foreign country. Then export. Now export means the opposite, selling of goods from our country to the outside country. Now students, I have a question to you all. For a country which is beneficial, more export or more import? You please send this answer in the comment section. And what will be the consequence and what will be the result of higher export or higher import in the economy of the country? So you just inform this you drop a comment in the comment box regarding this answer. Next is entrepot. Now entrepot is also called re-export. Now what exactly re-export means? Now re-export means you import the goods first and then you export it. Say for example, India and Pakistan do not have trade relation. They don't trade with each other. There are other relations also which are not good, but we will talk about trade right now. Now, India and directly do not export anything to Pakistan. Say Nepal is taking advantage of this situation. Nepal is importing some goods from India and they are exporting it to Pakistan. So this is an example of entrepot trade. So with this, we are done with trade. Now we are coming to the last part, that is aids to trade. And as I told you in the earlier time, the tertiary industry is also left. Now what is this? Aids to trade. Tertiary industry. Now tertiary industries are those industries which supports the primary industries. And aids to trade is that support system which is provided to support trade. So this industry or this aids to trade is considered as the support system for trade or the support system for industry. Now what are they? You can see here 5 things. Now transportation, warehousing, banking and finance also we say, insurance, advertising. Basically these industries and this aids to trade, they helps the industries and helps the trade by removing all the obstacles in their path. Now I will explain to you one by one. Let me start with transportation first. So transportation being the first aids to trade. Now what exactly transportation does? Transportation removes the hindrance or the obstacle of place. Today we are producing one particular product in Darjeeling. Now from Darjeeling, how to get it in Siliguri or how to get it in Kolkata or how to get it in Maharashtra or how to get it in some other country like Netherlands. So it can be done through transportation. It can be done through transportation. Transportation can be in various forms, waterways, land, roadways, airways, but the product is available there. That is possible only because of transportation. So it removes the hindrance of place. If you think this way, that today I think of a business, my customers will not be from this place. They might not be from this place. Why they not be from this place? Suppose you open a cafeteria. Now cafeteria, you have no option. People will not travel by flight to eat your product every day. But if you produce some product for which the customers are not from your place, say for example, I am manufacturing saris and I'm selling it in the city where already saris are very popular. Already they are going to the popular ones. People are going to the popular shop. What can I do? I can even sell it in foreign country where that is not that much popular, or I can export it. I can export it to various countries and I can make it a trend. So that is only possible because of transportation. It is because of transportation that today we are getting all the different kind of goods at our doorstep. Next, we have warehousing. Now warehousing, what exactly warehouse means? Warehouse is the place where the goods are stored for future use. Say goods will be demanded in winter. Right now, say winter is few months ahead. Now I cannot predict that this year how much cold it will be, and accordingly I'll produce jackets and winter wears. It's not possible. I have to assume and I have to produce. Now after I produce, I have to keep it somewhere, because if I wait for November, December to come and then I start producing, I will actually not be able to meet the sale of the products at all, because customers will not wait for a long period of time. So I have to produce the goods and keep it ready. As soon as demand occurs, I will supply. So where will we keep the goods? We will keep it in the warehouse. So warehousing also removes one of the hindrance, that is the hindrance of time. So the hindrance of time is removed by warehousing. So another support system. Now aids to trade also you can see here. warehouse is given. Now, warehouse is actually helping you to store the goods. If you store the goods, then after storing, whenever the demand occurs, you will be able to supply the goods in the stores. Next, after warehouse, we have another three, that is banking. Now, say for example, students, we are receiving a big order from a company, but due to lack of finance, we don't have money to produce the goods. Say for example, we receive an order of 1 crore rupees, for which they are giving us only 5 lakh or 10 lakh rupees advance. To produce the goods and to meet the delivery of the goods, we require minimum 40 lakhs. So I'm a small producer getting such a big order. I have to deny because I don't have that much finance with me. I have no support. But if I approach a bank and show them that I will be able to repay your money if you grant me a loan, how will I repay? After fulfilling the order, because I will have a lot of documents to prove that I have received an order from a big company. Then I will be able to get this loan from the bank. Once I get this loan and I am able to fulfill the requirement of the company, I will be getting the money with which I will be able to not only pay, but rather will be able to expand my business as well. So the hindrance of finance is removed by banking. So the hindrance of finance is the lifeblood of business. Now that will be removed by banking. Banks will provide you loan, assistance, various other opportunities in order to continue your business. There should not be any stoppage in the business interval. Next, we have insurance. Now, insurance is another aids to trade or another tertiary industry which helps us to protect us from the risk. Now, I already declared the risk is removed by insurance, the hindrance of risk. Now, today it is a rainy day. Say it is a very windy and rainy day. It is very risky to export or to transport the goods from one place to the other. Because if you meet an accident, there is nothing that you are going to recover. But if you are insured, insurance is made for such risks. Suppose you are going normally, an accident occurs and you lose a lot of goods or a lot of value of products. So it's a complete loss for you. But if it is insured, insurance company will be covering that loss. And if you take the risk at that moment to go even after such a windy and rainy night, and if you are able to reach there, you will be able to sell the goods not only at the required price but maybe at a higher price because of the demand of the product. So if you take that risk, you will get good reward. Higher the risk, higher the reward. So to earn that reward, if you are backed by insurance, you will be able to take that risk in an easy manner. So insurance is again a aid to trade which helps to remove the risk. And we'll come to the last part of this entire classification, which is advertising. Advertising means showing or arousing interest about the product in the eyes of the customers. So not only this, what is the product about? That can also be understood from the advertisement. So it will arise the needs of the customers, the want of the customers, the demand of the customers by awareing the consumer about the usage of the product. So advertising helps to remove the hindrance of knowledge. So with this, students, we will be concluding today's lesson regarding business activities. So I would just like to show you once the entire activity here. For any doubt, any query, any particular term or anything, you please drop a message in the comment section. I'll definitely get back to that. And if you like this video, please press the like button, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, students. Hope you enjoy the next video as well. Thank you.